Aloha. Today I wanted to kind of share like a thought that I had that was really based upon wanting to see, like, for myself, I wanted to see like a timeline and some faces that go along with the creators of this university system that we live in, that is known as the globe model, and where it came from, and then how it kind of fits together. And I just wanted to share that in like one image and then go through it so people can see it, because it helped me once I kind of like could see the faces like this and then see the timeline and see what happened um, from then and what's happening today. So Nicholas Copernicus was born in 1473, died in 1543. Uh, Around his heyday, he was coming up with heliocentrism, and he was known for. And during this time frame, this is like the Christopher Columbus time frame of 1492, when a lot of things were being created and being destroyed all at once. And there's a lot of shifting in consciousness of on a grand scale. So this information coming out, if I can see this at that time frame, is just like another distraction from what's been going on all over the place. And he came out with the globe, the heliocentrism, the sun-centered model, and they didn't really need a lot of uh, like proofs or anything, because they could just like force you to believing what this information was about with just these models and these so-called smart people. I mean, you got to listen to him. He's got a compass in his hand. Obviously, you got to listen to this dude. Like he's smart, and you should just listen to him because he's got a fancy picture. So this is like fancy picture time frame, and then this was probably like. I'll get into that next. So he came out with the heliocentric model, and it was sold to the people because it was simple. It was a simple idea of understanding, and then you can create a foundation that can be sold and manipulated over time, and you didn't have to back it up with any kind of proof or anything, and then just allow it to get complex over time and then build up that model as long as you had a foundation. So Copernicus set the foundation for heliocentrism, and it was bought by the people because you only needed like pretty models. They could just put a globe out there, just put a fancy globe and put some sticks on some balls and just make it go around the sun, and then people just believe it. So that's what happened. And then 100 years later, in 1642 to 1726 was Newton's time frame. You had another smart guy who's got a really nice wig on. You got to trust this dude. Look at that wig, and he's smart, and he came up with motion and gravity, and he invented the refractor telescope. So you really got to trust this dude. I mean, look at that fancy picture. So Newton came out after that, and this was setting the foundations for the university system, and this whole theory of scholastic, worshiping, and that whole nonsense. So yeah, when he came up with the law of motion and the law of gravity, people just, they just keep selling it like they put it in a newspaper. You just believe it, or you put it on today. You put it on like Fox News, or put it on CNN or something. People believe it. So that's what happened with gravity and motion. And he also came up with the telescope, which is another fancy thing people can ooh and ah and hold in their hands. So you just believe it after a while. And then Einstein came out. This is another 1700 years later. So there's 100 years, 100 years to this, and 100 years to that, because the flow of information was taking like 100 years. Roughly, I was just saying, like roughly it takes like this long. They could play with these are playing with frequencies and playing with how people are getting their information and how they are interpreting this information, digesting this information, how long it takes, and it just like they're just putting out these headpieces to play with the velocity of intellectual information based upon what people are have access to. So Einstein came out in the heart of the university booming system, and then not to mention he was also in the patent office with all that stuff. And they're not talking about Tesla at all at this time. They just keep putting him on, so Tesla would be on like an unknown something like for example, in reference to today, Tesla would have his own like little YouTube channel, but Einstein would be on all the fancy big YouTube channels in the mainstream media, and his theories and all his information would be just put on blast for people to look into and be like, oh yeah, this is the way it is. And so this was like a gradual rise in intellect, because they started off simple so people can buy into it and be like, oh good, good, we got, I can understand that. And then it got complicated, but you had pictures, you had like a telescope, so it was good. You're there, you're here, right here. And then it had to get more complex because the information had to be hoarded into the university system, and then you had to start creating the foundations of control that would be able to keep people in a state of limbo with a bunch of distractions, and these mathematical distractions based upon, oh, this smart guy and that smart guy, if he's talking about these smart people, then we really got to trust him. Plus he came up with the theory of relativity, and he's got all these other theories about gravity and all this other stuff, and it's real complex, and they're still just theories. But if you got enough people to back up these theories and trust these theories, then you don't really need to do anything other than put his face out there a lot. And that's exactly what happened. They just made him a superstar of the university system, and we just ate it up. So that was Einstein in the early 1900s. And then the radio and television was coming out, and Carl Sagan they had to cut this time in half. Einstein died in 1955, and Carl Sagan was coming out in like the 70s. So the information flow was coming out a lot faster, so they needed to put people in your face a lot quicker and get more information streams more in your face. So this when the television came out. So the radio was selling. So this was like just in your face models, just make like a baby toy model of the universe, and then put it in a newspaper with Isaac Newton, then put it on a radio with Albert Einstein, then put it on television with Carl Sagan and the cosmos, and just give him a fancy name like astrophysicist. So he's an astronomer and a physicist, so he backs up all these people. Like you just ball all these people into one dude, that's Carl Sagan. And he's got his own TV show, so you just trust that dude. And he's on television. Oh man, that's good. You just get that information, you send your kids to school, and you just eat it up. That's how you do it. And then when he dies, you got to get another king out there, another astrophysicist who's just gonna tell these old stories again. And you need another form of delivery form of information. So the internet came out. And so the internet time frame. So these are all timing everything, timing information flows. And Neil deGrasse Tyson, born 1958, still alive today, still selling these old 1500 time frame theories to keep this university system and these masters in control of your mind. And you gotta like them. You gotta like these dudes, so they gotta have a likability quality. So in the 70s, Carl Sagan's coming out with the Cosmos and all these fancy all these songs and beautiful like pictures and all this stuff, and math, and some of it's complex and some of it's like you can grasp on and get it, and whatever. And then in the 2000s, here comes Neil deGrasse Tyson saying the same stuff he said, which was a ball of this stuff, with now engaging with people who are saying something against all this other stuff on Twitter and Facebook, and having rap battles, and he's got to take on everything to back up all this stuff. So these are just passing the passing the throne, or the information flow down the line. And as more people get privy to more information, they have to keep these people in your face and distracting. There's so many distractions out there with the internet, because the television was just one stream of distraction, just the television, different shows on the television. But there's so many different styles of distraction with the internet. You got apps, you got different apps, you got dating apps, you got television on the cell phone, you got all the games, you got scientific stuff, you got so-called smart stuff, you got everything on this one little box. And you still need a headpiece, a human face, to make it real for you, so you can trust these masters. And so yeah, he's just like the show nuff, the new show nuff of your reality. Is Neil deGrasse Tyson selling 500-year-old theories in the 21st century. And anytime it gets questioned, they don't have anything to back it up. So you just got to drop the mic and then just hope people believe you, which is exactly what happened recently when all this stuff hit the fan. So I just wanted to share this, builders of your university, and this whole stream of thought that I had, and just have it out there. So thank you for joining me. Till next time, peace, love, harmony.